What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So after the huge update of 1.11 here on Gran Turismo 7 that fixed basically majority of the financial and money issues that we were having with the credit system of not paying enough for events or for multiplayer stuff or even circuit experiences, they finally decided to go back to the drawing board, fix all that, and they did a pretty good job here, as now people are able to make a ton of money to actually progress in the game and buy the cars that they've been wanting to buy. But is it a bit too late? Just a bit. I mean, the game has been out for over a month, and on top of that, it's basically gotten some of the worst reviews and some of the worst press on all the major gaming platforms. So this is probably a month too late, but at least they're stepping in the right direction. Now, when looking at Gran Turismo 7, there's still a lot of issues that are plaguing this game and a lot of stuff that's just preventing this game going from that god tier mode that we were all hoping this game to be. And it's just a lot of things that should have been done on release or just had been brought out and fixed on the first week that this game came out. And we're gonna go over some of those things here on this video. So before we jump into the list, if you guys really enjoy the content, feel free to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you want to catch more content here on Gran Turismo 7 or any other racing sim, hit that subscribe button down below to catch more content. Anyways, let's jump right into it. So on this list, I have decided to put some things together that have just been bothering me about this game, and just things I thought should have been already fixed or just had not been an issue on launch. And the first thing we're going to jump into is penalties. Now, penalties are a lot better than what they were on GT Sport. GT Sport, towards the end of its life, basically penalty was non-existent. You had to really kill someone heading into some of these corners, or just push someone off wide and force them into the barrier in order to get a penalty. But on this game, I'm glad that they brought back the penalty system, but unfortunately it's just a tad bit too sensitive. Now, what they can do to help with the penalties is just reduce the contact penalties. If you do make a hard enough contact, maybe reduce it by about half a second or even a second on some of the penalties. I know some contact that I've seen have had the outcome of giving someone a 3, 4, even a 5-second penalty, and I think that's a bit too harsh. I think for majority of the contact, you could probably lessen it down to about half a second or even a 1-second penalty, unless you just absolutely murder someone, just send them straight to the shot around. Then for something like that, I'm pretty sure they can make an algorithm to where it's about a 3, maybe 4-second penalty for something that atrocious. But other than that, majority of the stuff have been just minimal contact or just very light contact that resulted in about a 3, 4-second penalty. And I know I'm not the only one that contests to that. Another thing that they can definitely improve on the penalty system is the corner cut. Now, after doing a lot of Brazil races last week, and as well as some of the Brazil races here for the Manufacturer Cup race, that is a really great example of where the penalty system is failing us, where you can just cut the second corner of Estocena and just put all 4 tires basically across the out of bounds zone on the track. And you can do that on some other parts of the track as well, and as well as other tracks are having the exact same issue where you could just absolutely cut a majority of the track part. And so I think they have to kind of be a bit more strict with the corner cut, so people don't abuse the track limits and are able to get away with this. So that's what I think has to be done with the penalties. Now, jumping into the second one, it is going to be lobby stability. So this game has been getting a lot better with every single patch, as the lobby stability has been getting just better and better. But unfortunately, we're still having disconnection issue, and I know it's not all Polyphony's fault. I know that there have been some issues with PlayStation 4s trying to connect with PlayStation 5s, and it has led to a lot of lobbies crashing, as you saw, for example, in the FIA races, or I guess the World Tour races now that they're rebranded to that. And it's just had led to a lot of people just having a very bad multiplayer experience, just due to the fact that they cannot do these competitive races because the lobbies just kept crashing and crashing and crashing. And due to that, they decided to actually reduce the player amount. And I believe for Daily Race C, they still have it down to 16 players, but at least for the World Tour races, they look like they kind of got it figured out. I'm not sure what they did differently, but they now have brought back the full lobby amount of players of 20, and so hopefully they can do the exact same thing for Daily Race C. And not only that, when you do play on custom lobbies has a really weird compatibility system where the lobbies are just very, very unstable, and it almost looks like some of the cars are just floating or just glitching out. And I'm really surprised that everything on sport mode works fairly well. I mean, as well as you can have it for an online multiplayer game. But when you go to the custom lobbies, it just seems that the cars are just very, very finicky and just don't handle the way that they do on sport mode. So definitely have to work on the lobby stability. I'm giving it maybe another month and a half before they get everything worked together. But that's definitely one thing that should have been at least beta tested or something, you know, just had an open lobby system for majority of the players, just so they can test the servers a month prior to when the game was released. But that is the second thing I still think that needs to be improved on this game. Now, jumping on the custom lobbies, we're gonna jump into our third topic, and that is actually custom lobbies. So when going into custom lobbies, there's just a plethora of issues. Now, I've watched a stream that was done a couple weeks ago on Valkyrie's channel. If you don't know who she is, she's a big streamer here on YouTube, and she was actually just doing a 1v1 lobby for a sponsorship for Lexus, and it was just so difficult to watch that because there were just so many issues that she was having, and it's just pinpointing a lot of the issues that custom lobbies have on this game. And we're gonna jump into some of those right now. So the very first one that I want to jump into when it comes down to custom lobbies is adjusting the settings in the lobby. Now, I don't know why this was not implemented on the launch. I'm pretty sure one of you guys could probably tell me in the comments down below, but this should have been one of the first things that you should be able to do when you do some of these custom lobbies, because it just seems like you shouldn't have to leave the lobby, mess around with the settings, tweak the settings just to go back and make a new room. It just takes up so much time. It should be something they should be able to just do within the lobby and be able to just tweak stuff here and there, like how you were able to do on Gran Turismo Sport. Another thing that I feel like they can also fix with lobby settings is actually allowing you to save the settings. So you haven't been able to really save the settings. So let's say you make like this really cool extravagant endurance race, or just even you're just trying to practice for a group 3 or group 4 FIA race or World Tour race, you can't save it. And I just think that that should be just fundamentals, you know, the basics of making these custom lobbies. Due to the fact that you were able to do it on GT Sport, it should have just been able to been implemented into Gran Turismo 7, and it's just mind-blowing that they're missing these features. Another thing that I think they can improve on the custom lobbies are a way to make it easily discoverable. I know they're going off of a code basis or just off of friends basis, but you should be able to just search up a lobby by the lobby name and find the lobbies like that. And lastly, I think for the custom lobbies, you should be able to buy and purchase tires or just upgradable parts right off the lobby screens, just so you don't have to back out, go all the way to GT Auto or to the parts section and having to buy each and every individual part, and then having to jump back into the lobbies and try to look for your friend's lobby or whatnot. So those are the things I think that needs to be improved in the custom lobbies. Now, jumping into our fourth topic, that is going to be BOP. Now, I know with 1.11 they did do a little bit of tweaks here and there, but there's still a couple of cars that are just way too good for the Group 3 and Group 4. So this is one thing that I'm pretty sure they're going to get down eventually. They're going to find the adjustment and the fine-tuning of getting that balance between all the cars. But you know, you still have your crazy good Group 3 cars like the RCZ, the Mazda, the R8, etc. But with the Group 4 cars, you also have the Atenza, the BMWs, and as well as majority of the front engine cars just seem to do a lot better with the Group 4. And I know McLaren is one that does stand out, that it's a mid-engine car but still performs pretty well. But yeah, they just have to continuously tweak the BOP and just find which cars are just being way too overpowered, which cars still need to be buffed up too, as well, as they are very uncompetitive just before they start doing all these official World Tour season. And so I'm pretty sure they're going to get it down within the next couple of patches, but this is definitely something they got to get fixed before they start doing competitive lobbies. Now, for the final thing that I want to touch upon, that is going to be the physics of the car. Now, this is a part that can be a bit controversial, as a lot of people can have different opinions of how the physics feel for this game. For me, I think the physics are as great as they have been, but they can still do a little bit of tweaking here and there to make this game a lot better when it comes to the handling of the cars. So First thing I want to touch upon are going to be the road cars. For some reason with the road cars, I know they're supposed to be a lot more difficult to drive than an actual race car because they don't have the downforce, they're lacking the tire grip, they're lacking a lot of the grip that you can get from a race car. But it shouldn't be this difficult where you're spinning out every single time you come out of a corner or just a big elevation change. So that's definitely something that they have to kind of fix with the physics and just make these road cars a lot more stable and a lot more drivable, but still give it that little edge of where you can, you know, slide out the back end because it doesn't have a lot of downforce, and just make it a little bit challenging, but not as challenging as they have it right now. The second thing I want to touch upon for the physics is going to be the mid-engine cars and the rear-engine cars. So a lot of these race cars that have the mid-engine are just very, very unstable, and it's actually very weird to manage the oversteer that they have. That's definitely something that they have to fix for the physics on these mid-engine cars and these rear-engine cars, is make sure that it's got enough stability when you're going through these corners, especially when you're going through very fast, twisty corners. It shouldn't be losing the back end as easily as it is right now. And on top of that, you shouldn't be having also these little tricks where you're implementing the throttle to actually put in stability. You're supposed to be using the stability with the brake pedal or just with your turning inputs. But I'm pretty sure it's something that Polyphony just saw, and they're going to be implementing, you know, updates to fix the physics. But that's definitely an issue that I've been having, which makes these mid-engine cars and these rear-engine cars not as competitive as they could be, and just reduces the balance that you have between these front-engine cars and these other cars that have the engine in the middle and the rear. So in conclusion, this is what I think Polyphony still has to do to fix this game to make it to that God tier status. Now, I know it's a little bit late for a lot of these issues that we were having with this game, and it probably had drawn away a lot of the momentum that this game had when it first came out, just stalling it and just causing people to leave very, very bad reviews and just step away from this game, and probably forever. So I'm hoping that Polyphony can get a lot of these little things down here and there, just so they can make this an enjoyable experience. So when the people come back to this game 1 or 2 years down the road, they actually see how great this game was and continue playing it and just keep the longevity of this game for years to come. I know there's a lot of other things that probably need to be fixed on this game, and if you guys think that I missed it on the list or even disagree with me on the list, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. And again, if you guys really enjoyed this video, feel free to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, hit that subscribe button down below, and if you guys enjoyed the video, I really hope to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.